difficulties. Hi, Melody. I have to, oops, is it starting? Have to, there we go. Melody Harmon, no notification via YouTube. Sorry, there shouldn't be a notification until I go live. Excuse me. Once I go live, you'll get a notification. Oh my gosh, that tea is so yummy. Makes me want to go have more. I'm having sage tea with a bunch of other stuff. I just finished having my dinner. You guys want to see it? It's making me cough because I just finished eating it. Spanish rice with a little chicken in it. Excuse me. All right, I need to get my cards while people come together. Looks like there's only 82 of us. More will show up. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should play you guys some music while people show up. I should do like a singing. Oh, a second stream, I should have closed it. Let me fix it. Oh, third eye is going on at the same time, so it might be a little competitive. But that's okay. We don't mind. Okay, this one needs to go. All right. How is everybody? Oh, hi, Chuck. Hag Sameach. Happy holiday. It is the first night of Hanukkah. We light two candles on the first night, right? So we have a shamus. We have one candle that we use to light the other. So yes, tonight it's two candles. Oh, today's Thursday, right? I closed the second stream. I made the most delicious teas. I've been playing with different types of teas and then putting honey in them, like different herbal teas. They're really fun to play with. But this herbal tea combination that I made is the sage, the mountain sage from Icaria, some chopped ginger, and fennel. How's that for a cool combination? Sometimes I like to float little flowers, little roses in it. Like I love to do fun, magical teas. You know what we could do is I wish that I could do like some event in like a major city and we could like play and raise money for charity and like do like tea readings and stuff. Wouldn't that be fun? So, would you guys like me to do the Empaz prayer and then Shabbat Shalom is tomorrow night, not tonight. Hi, Chava, Hag Sameach. Oh, Ocean Star, welcome to Fairies and Angels. Now, you a fairy or an angel or a combination of the two? Welcome, Ocean Star, to be a fairy and an angel with us. And hopefully you'll meet us Saturdays. We have private readings, gets-togethers, private hangout. It's a salon for people who are members. It's nice. We try to have a couple activities for members, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, so oh, I love "Come On, Baby, Light My Fire." That's a good one. Let's do the Empaz prayer, shall we? I think by now most of you know it. Nobody knows who wrote it. I guess we all wrote it, right? Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Yeah, like you're trying to be more frugal. It's kind of fun, actually. In the winter, I go through a really frugal period. It's like the time of frugality goes from like fall until spring, you know? And so you do your budget, and it's the time of heavy duty paying off bills. It's a lot of fun, actually. You don't waste anything. You make food from scratch. So it's fun because you look in your freezer, and usually it's a good idea if you have like a melody of frozen veggies you can put in, and can of tomato sauce. I had spices and some chicken. So I was digging into that, and then I forgot I had to go live. So I apologize. I was like munching away happily. I knew I was like, I've got 5 minutes to eat some of this food. And I was really enjoying myself. I was like, it's 5:05. So I'm convinced taking time making anything slow technique turns everything delicious. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to people about had to do with a disturbing remote view on Donald Trump. I have not been keeping up with the Donald Trump news because I've really been focusing on what's going on in the Middle East. But I have to say, as a professional remote viewer, using a technique which is called heart-centered remote viewing, it's a different school of practice than the military remote viewing, which we respect very much. They're doing fine work, the people who are trained in that. But we are empaths, and what we do is we attempt to sit in the space of another person. And an empath theoretically becomes that other person, right? So when I'm asked to step in the shoes of Donald Trump as an empath and give a remote or give a profile, right? Sometimes there's a criminal and people will say, Whimsy, can you give a profile? What was the motive for this individual? Like the guy with the gun who told us that he went back to the places that made him happy, and he took that happiness away from others because it had been taken from him. Now, in his mind, it seemed practical, right? The shooter out of Maine, for example, right? So that would be an example of where an empath is asked to go in and do a profile for somebody, right? So the last remote we did was of Donald Trump. I found it quite disturbing. I found that my mental state had deteriorated considerably. I've never, this is the angriest I've ever felt as Donald Trump. And I think it's because, yeah, when I was him, I was sitting in the courtroom over here, and I looked up and I saw a judge this way. And my thought, that was my first vision as him. And my thoughts when I was sitting there was, when I take back the White House, he wants this guy drug out, humiliated, and then executed before the world. So that tells me that this individual is not mentally stable, and that people close to this situation are probably aware of the fact that this individual is not stable. It's not just that he isn't stable, it's also that this person people are jumping ship left and right, those people who know what's coming. People can dream about how he's going to be the president in 2024, but the writing is on the wall for this guy. And given how the remotes appear, they will probably have to incarcerate him. It's gotten to a point where some type of incarceration is going to happen. Now, when you go into that energy of the incarceration, how are they going to incarcerate this guy? Today, they're talking about the fact. I'm sorry, somebody asked me to put, when we're talking, they're like, who are you talking about? We're talking about Donald Trump. I should put it in I should pin it. And we're talking about a recent profile where I was asked as a remote viewer to profile Donald Trump. So that's just to let people know who are just showing up what we're talking about. So the other thing I felt was that my children had abandoned me, particularly my daughter. In plainer words, I had sunk so low that I was being degraded in front of a judge who was treating me like trash, the way he would, rather than the former president of the United States. Like, I can't get over how, lack of show some respect. I was the frickin' president of the United States. Like, I feel this sense of, yes, pre-trial detention is very likely at this point. I'm sorry to say for anybody who loves Trump, but the nature of this individual's mental decline, the fact that he's now getting his people to threaten, and death threats are coming in for the wife of the judge, right? So it's gotten now to a point where the judge is really has no choice but to incarcerate this. Yes, a medical hold is very likely, Lama Bryant. So I want to get clarification on that, and then we can do anything you guys like. But I think he stands a snowball's chance in hell of winning a presidency, given his legal problems, given the fact that he's about to be wiped out, given the fact that, they haven't even gotten into January 6th or the missing money from the inauguration. This guy's in so much what's he going to do? Who's he going to be? A president with that kind of a route? It's not going to happen. He's just in one disaster after another. So the best he's going to get is a psychiatric hold, and he's going to have to humiliate himself and say that he's mentally insane. Same thing with Santos. If they want to avoid you're not insane, so you knew what you were doing. Well, great. Then we've got premeditated all over the place, right? January 6th, he planned it for, But if you're insane, the offer, right? The Holy Grail. The person who's sitting and looking at their cups, an offer given to somebody who's, living in a land of la dreaming, right? Do you think that this person stands a chance of winning the presidency? Because I don't. Oh, my hair is pretty. Oh, thank you. They've already gotten into his books. You can see that. It can be an accountant's card. Two of Pentacles. They already caught him. They already caught the guy. I think he's finished within 2 weeks, according to these cards. I'll tell you why. Medical emergency. He's going to crash and get some kind of medical emergency within the next couple of weeks. You can see here the offer. You can see here a crash. The guy had a mental breakdown because it's just coming in from all sides. I would have had a breakdown long before, don't you think? So he's headed towards a crash. In the next 2 weeks, we could see some kind of physical collapse. You can see the feds all over him. Movement of the case. And there it is. For those of you who are disappointed, Archangel Raphael bails him out. Health. He's going to have a health crash in 2 weeks. Anybody surprised? No? All right. The next question that people wanted to know about has to do with Hunter Biden. As you may know, there's been some he's facing multiple charges. He's been able to, they thought that he was going to plead to a lesser sentence, but it looks like, I don't know. What do you think? More charges coming from the feds, likely. Let's take a look at Hunter Biden. The Biden crime family, right? He always says the same thing. No matter what happens, his sobriety can't be compromised. So he's ready to go to court. The 12 steps, higher power. The case might go nowhere. His karma. He wants to get on with it, the courts. It's more that he just like, if I'm going to go to prison, let's get on with it. Oh, he's traveling internationally. He's going to be tied up in the courts. It's more that they just want to tie him up in the courts. International travel work. Smoother waters. Excuse me. Fear of poverty and being controlled by the courts. They're going to cost him financially. Yeah, I would say financially. It looked to me like they were trying to break him financially, but that it would never come to anything other than bankruptcy. Like they were trying to get him financially. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. So the next question, somebody had asked about the violent uproar of the MAGA. Let's take a look. No. We're entering into a time when America's going to have more cooperation. New beginning. Reaching across the aisle. Do you think that the fact that George Santos was kicked out could be why we're seeing more of this? A new beginning. Reaching across the aisle. Financial concerns are everywhere. The star. I think people are worried about their finances. No, I don't think so. And I think that the president is going to have to do a new jobs initiative and job training, etc., because star over new contracts, housing as well. I'm sorry, something big. I'm coughing again today. I shouldn't have eaten before the show. Will Trump supporters ever give up their support of Trump? Let's find out. They live vicariously through his power. So when his power is taken away, their power is taken away. They have to be, if you want meaning, they want meaning, right? People want meaning. They want to belong to something greater than themselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to warm up my tea a little bit, and then I'll come back and give you guys whatever you want. Final outcome is federal controls, but you're not going to take away the problem if you don't address what the psychological issue is that led to this kind of extremism, whether it's in Gaza or it's here in the United States. You must understand human nature, and human nature is such that people don't want to feel like they're losers. And so they will try to say that I belong to something greater than myself, right? But if you attach yourself to something that's toxic, then that's basically what we see here. But so, what do we don't want people to fall back into poverty and hopelessness. That he inspired hope in people is a wonderful thing, but yeah. Okay, I'm going to warm my tea really quickly. Excuse me. It tastes so much better when it's been heated. It was ice cold. Okay. Had to nuke it for 30 seconds. Okay, so I had some questions while I did that. I apologize. I don't like cold tea. All right. So what do we have here? Oh, McCarthy is resigning. Yeah. He was resigning because of a vote of no confidence, because he had created a situation where if one person wasn't happy, he could be thrown out. And but in terms of the future of McCarthy, I mean, let's take a look. McCarthy was the money holder. That he is the person who could get large sums of money from certain donors. And he still holds a significant sway in terms of just getting donations. Particularly, he's a good money guy. He's very good at fundraising. He's very good at writing letters. And you can see here the guy can bring in the money. Look at that. And here again, the money. So it's very obvious to me that this guy, he's an asset to the Republican Party because he really bust his butt writing letters and just doing serious money hauls. You can see it's all here. You can see here harvesting the money, researching, pounding out stuff in order to get the money. Here again, confident financially because of international support. It's very obvious that this guy is able to get money, possibly even from the international community. Who do you see will be the actual Republican candidate for the election? My thought is it's going to be Nikki Haley, and that's because Santos is number 2 and Haley is number 3. But once Trump is out with 60%, it'll reshuffle and Haley will take a lot of the votes that are split. But let's see about Haley. I have a feeling they're going to go with Haley. And she's a very good debater. If it was her and Kamala Harris, she might win. I mean, I've seen her debate, and even if you don't like her politics, I think she's a solid debater when she has to. She has a very solid intellectual proposal. She has an intellectual, Nikki Haley has a kind of intellectual approach. Again, she's writing letters and she's getting money for the Republican Party. She has this pounding away a very viable campaign. And you can see here again, getting financial support. She's also got new people endorsing her. I think people know that Trump is not going to be around. And you have the more moderates going after Haley. And you can see here the 6 of Pentacles. I'm going to go ahead and guess that she gets a lot of money after Trump. Look, they want to get a strong female candidate. Now, if it's between her and somebody else, they might ask her to go in as VP to get her just to drop out. But if I were her, given her strong energy and positioning, I don't think she needs to do that because she's probably going to be the pick for Republican Party. Yeah. And she's certainly okay financially. I think that, she's the sanest of the Republicans running from what I understand. I mean, she doesn't think that women should be forced to have their rapist babies and things like that. I mean, she seems to be a little bit less crazy. Okay, we did. Who do we think will be? Where are we? Did McCarthy expect Trump's support to save him? That's a really good question. I don't think so, because by the time he had left, it had deteriorated so badly that I think he knew the writing was on the wall and there was really not a lot he could do. I mean, it had gotten pretty bad. Also, they were facing stalemates, and they were looking at potentially, every 3-4 months we'll have to deal with a crisis, because every 3-4 months they want to have a temper tantrum about the bill. That kind of instability the Republicans bring a lot of instability to the House. So we don't polls, but the poll I suggest Matt Gaetz going to be indicted, expelled from Congress, or become government. Let's just do general energy on Gaetz. Matt Gaetz. Okay. Matt Gaetz. He's losing financial support, and for that reason, a lot of people would like him. The Republicans want Matt Gaetz to step down and have somebody else run. They feel like his district is strong, and they want him. Look, 4 of Pentacles, the man is not getting huge financial support here. And you can see here his constituents want him to hang it up. That's not a good positioning. His hope and fear, is he a strong candidate? The answer is no. Not only that, but he's being thrown into red tape problems with a eight of swords. So basically they're saying he's having financial, his behavior in Congress is why this happened. They're basically, you know what happened? What do you think happened? You're smart people. Who had the money? Mac. Who had the money? McCarthy, right? Who was the money guy? McCarthy. Who was literally writing $5,000 personal checks anytime a congressperson would come in? He'd say, "Hey, I like you. Here's $5,000. Go do something fun for yourself," right? So if you were to ask me as a remote viewer to access the private documents here and to give you the best assessment I can, I would say to you that he kicked the wrong beehive, that Matt Gaetz kicked the wrong beehive. And as a consequence of that, he got on McCarthy's bad side to such an extent that they felt like he was a threat to the Republican Party and they would like him to leave. And one of the ways that they're leaving and strongholding him is by refusing to fund his campaign. In plainer words, his problems with McCarthy and the way he has conducted himself in Congress is so horrible that they want him out. And so they're going to starve him out. And so you can see here the juxtaposition. The angry, passionate man, he ain't got no money. He has his own personal maybe, but he's not getting any financial support. In terms of his donors, they want the guy gone because he's a disaster. Nine of Swords, hang him up. Get rid of this guy. He's a freaking walking disaster. His hopes and fears, the fact that he has to haul ass and go home. He has no support. You can see the economic poverty here. They've hung him up. He's a walking disaster for them. So he's not strong as a candidate. And he's like, he has to go home. They want him gone. He's tied in knots, but you can read the cards. You don't need me here. The cards, he's tied in knots financially. They are starving him out. They are controlling him because of his horrible behavior, which results in the final outcome. Again, you can see your own cards, Nine of Wands. The guy's in jail. So either he's facing, look, his own Republican Party wants him out because you saw what happened when no matter what, he wasn't happy. He got everything he wanted and he still wouldn't vote for McCarthy. And then it created so much disruption in the House that one of his constituents literally tried to physically attack him. So we're talking about private door conversations where people are saying, starve him out, do what you have to do, get this guy out of Congress. So they want him out. Very interesting cards. Would you agree? So I think it's going to be very hard for him to get reelected when he has no support. Speaker wanting to blur the faces of insurrectionists and comparing them to Moses. Ooh, that's rather interesting. I've never heard that. That sounds rather fun. Thank you. I think we got a donation from someone. I'm sorry, I didn't say thank you to them. Thank you, Chili Dog. That's very kind of you. Appreciate that. Okay, let me see what that question is. That looks pretty kind of interesting. Did I post it? No, I don't think I did. Hold on, let me find. What were we going to do? Oh, the blurring of the faces on January 6th. Well, what do you guys think about that? Do you think until somebody is tried, well, it's too late. I mean, there's so much film footage out there, but I don't know. Um, I kind of am hearing everybody's stories, and I do feel bad for them that they were a meth head and they were crazy and they got drugged out by Trump and his crazy, and they really could use some help because they're being, they're physically sick, they're mentally sick, they know they're not well, and so they would really appreciate it if people would just cover up their faces because they're in a very different place now than they were, say, 2 years ago. So there's this feeling like, man, I don't want to be in a revolution. I'm on dialysis. It has that kind of everything is. These are not people in positions of power anymore. These are people who, many of them snapped out of it, went home, and are now having to pay for their own legal fees. You see what I'm saying? So you have this poverty card here, not wanting to be abandoned, begging others to help. So it doesn't surprise me that the judge is saying, some of these people are repentant. Some of them have paid their dues, for holding a sign or whatever. So that's definitely what they would want. But you also have this incredible grief. You also have to take into consideration the opposition, which is their victims. And this incredible amount of evidence against them. So the film footage, the grief of their victims, their opposition, the amount of evidence. They were in a cult. The woman who rubs her lamp in dreams, it's like somebody who's joined a cult. They lived in their own fantasy world. They don't want Trump to run again, except for the diehard, maybe 12 or 15 people. But the majority don't want to, they just want to forget this ever happened. It's not like the people who are incarcerated still support Trump. Yeah. Very interesting cards. What do you guys think? Hi, Kathleen O'Malley. Good to see you. Oh, Gaetz is, he's one of a kind, isn't he? Hi, Flora Nablus. Good to see you. Hi, Mousy. Good to see you. Hi, Clarence. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Lama Bryant. Do you see any relief in regards? Thank you, everyone, for showing up and supporting my channel. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you. Jen Bowles, do you see any relief in regards to goods and the supply chain regarding the high cost due to corporate greed? Oh, yeah. Not good. Supply chain. They feel defensive. They're going to have, the way to save it is competition. So they're saying that if other companies come along that can offer better prices, it will, it's ultimately competition and new ways of doing things that put an end to this. See how defensive they are. The truth comes out, and then they have to walk away from their blockade. In terms of the clarification for you, yeah, things get better. Things get a lot better. You can see excuse me, hammering out a solution. Strong Queen of Wands over this problem too, which leads me to think you could have a very aggressive legal fight here. A judgment, you see. You don't want Queen of Wands in as your court. Who here wants Queen of Wands as your judge? Only if you're innocent, right? It will happen. Be patient. Interesting. So, next question has to do with balancing of the budget. Let's take a look. Latkes. Yeah, we need latkes. Latkes. Not for any time soon. No balanced budget. Frugality. Problems in the courts. Looking for a solution. Two of Pentacles. Problems remain. So, in terms of issues of balancing, it was balancing the budget we were asking about, right? Yeah. Look, out to lunch. Queen of Cups, living in a dream, no money. Our opposition, the courts, legally, what we can get away with. Confusion. Yeah, we get the world. We will pay off our debt with international commerce. Why tax us in the military if we're selling stuff and then getting paid when we do F-16 fighters and whatnot? Like, it should more than pay for itself, but you have this international purchases, which leads me to think that America's ability to generate sales of certain things ultimately pulls us out of our financial problems. I think I'll do one more, and then I'll call it a day. McCarthy and Santos chairs. Let's take a look. The thing is that McCarthy is in Bakersfield, which is pretty conservative. So I'll look at McCarthy. Excuse me. My cough is bad today. He's financially invested in the prison system, isn't he? In Bakersfield. He's making money off the prisons. He's chained to the devil. It's going to be very hard to get rid of McCarthy. But getting rid of Santos was pretty easy, but McCarthy is a different story. Let me check and see if Santos is going to be replaced by a Republican or a Democrat. Okay, where was that? Did I already put this up? Oh, yeah, I did. So let me just see about replacing Santos. That's a woman, I think. I think it's a female Democrat. Takes it. Brown hair. Honestly, I think it's a Jewish female intellectual. Pretty brunette who carries the Torah. You know, it's a Jewish district. They're going to go with someone local. Probably female. You can see here also she's quite the intellectual. She's got the scholar's card. She has the star over her, and she gains financial support. If it's a male, I would be then they are very gentle, soft. You know, but they're definitely a scholar with these types of cards. But I would be inclined to think it's a female. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool when their energies start to float around into the space, and then we get to see what's happening before the general public. I like when we do that. For example, when we accessed records on Trump and we found out that he wanted to like harm the judge. I mean, it was public information, but I don't think. I mean, it wasn't public to me because I wasn't keeping up, but. Um, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. I just, I don't remember what I was going to say. Jeffrey is the Speaker of the House. Yeah, let's take a look. Jeffries. Jeffries' first response is that he's kind of taken by just how this Congress and the constituents around this Congress are very unstable. They're prone to violence. It's a disturbing thing after January 6th. You can see this kind of violent energy. He'll become speaker, yeah. He's going to be speaker. Yeah, he's going to be the next speaker. So that tells me that the Republicans are not going to make it. You can see here, crazy situation. It's crazy town. So the first thing you get when you go into Jeffrey's response is it's not just crazy town, it's violent town. These people, he's dealing with violent, psychotic, crazy people, right? And so, like Boebert, right? So he's in a position of power. The other in relationship to him, we have scholars and we have the King of Swords. This guy is not disrespectful of people across the aisle as long as they're smart. He feels like, in a way, he's kind of trapped by a situation. Maybe because they're ahead of us 2 seats, right? It's only 2 seats, right? Might be more, but I don't think so. And then the final outcome is he's victorious and he gets the world. So I would predict that he probably becomes speaker after the next election. That was fun. Did you guys have fun? I hope you had fun. I know I did. Okay, if you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can check all that information below. Also, be sure and check out our merch designs, beautifully designed by the amazing Debbie Brady. If you're trying to get in for a reading, be sure and check all the links before phone readings and also pre-taped. Also, be sure and check out our fan pages on Facebook. If you become a member of our Facebook fan page, once a month, someone is randomly selected to receive a free reading. Okay, you know the drill. Be kind to all so that all can be kind to you too. All right, you guys. It was fun. I don't think RFK is going to be a problem. His cards are never good. I think it's going to be Nikki Haley Nikki Haley and Biden would be nice because Biden is always a great debater with women. Yeah, but I think it's going to be Nikki Haley. See you guys later. All right. Bye.